think your voice is like butter.
That's so crazy.
It's like,
I hate it.
It's like, hi, thank you for calling.
This is Marge.
I really need a hot dog real fast.
I could use a hot
dog real fast.
So funny you guys say that because I feel like just
All right, we took a little break.
Oh, that was a
guys.
good one.
took a little break. We had to just
We put a boom on Brooke because she's loud.
I'm loud and I laugh loud.
No one told me my hair looks stupid.
I really
so-
hope that's recording.
Surely you pressed record. You want me to check?
Did I hit record? I'm kind of an idiot a lot of times.
Our next topic that we wanted to touch on was just, and I know we spoke about it briefly, was kind of things that are relatable with going through, you know, maybe divorce, maybe
Child custody,
breakups, maybe like child support even.
Mm-hmm.
And from my perspective, mine might be rather unique, but when I went through my situation, I went through multiple restraining orders back to back because they're only a year long. And so I had to just get them re-granted every single time. I think I had 3 back to back. And then when it came time to a custody hearing, he didn't show up. So by the grace of God, everything was revoked. He had no rights to him. He was never on the birth certificate, which was the one thing that I am so thankful that I listened to my parents about. I was 15 years old, just had a baby, and of course you went that like love story fairy tale, which I was just so delusional and just so young, and
It's a lot.
I had only seen him maybe 2 times after I got pregnant because he was actually with somebody else. So and then when everybody found out I was pregnant, I saw him, and then I don't think I saw him again until I gave birth. So because my mom pulled me from school, it was just too hard on me. I had to do the steps. I didn't have an elevator then, and it was just a lot. It was really hard on me. So anyways, we battled with abuse, stalking, threats. I took many custody tickets just so that Jack didn't have to go. And the officers were well aware of my situation, and so they would be like, "Hey, listen, like I'm going to give you this, but it's okay. Like it's okay. You're just going to take."
So
it.
were they coming to your house?
The cops?
Yeah.
Yes. So I would call them and I would say, "Hey, like I'm being stalked. I'm being threatened." So if he would.
So what was the stalking like? What was he doing?
He would.
And why?
He would call me hundreds of times over and over and over and over again. He would call my mom. He would call my grandma. He would leave voicemails on our answering machines.
But was that actually for the child, or was that for you?
To control me. Yes, to control me. And
malicious.
Yes, and say you'll never see him again.
Do you think that actually like affect your headspace? Like,
yes.
Like thinking the fairy tale, because like, did you really love him, or was this like an accident? Okay.
No, this was an accident. No.
Of course, with your age, but I'm saying like at that age, you could still like feel like you're in love. You know,
yes.
Like
No, I think I was. I think I had that like delusion, like, oh my God, this is the one for me, because I knew no different, you know. And it's like you hear about that growing up, like the fairy tale.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have a baby. That's who you're supposed to be meant with. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I knew before I even met him how he was and who he was, because there was other people before me, and those people may even watch this and be able to know who they are. But so I knew what I was getting into, obviously, when it happened. So I already had known how that was kind of going to play out. So so I dealt with stalking, abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, like anything you could think of, for like 2.5 years. And then I met my husband, and I was able to get away from him. He fought my husband at a gas station. Just god awful things. He has a huge.
So did he feel possessive over you because you had his child?
Yeah.
You think?
Do
you think that he loved you?
No.
Okay.
No. God, no.
It's just
he
a controlling thing.
Because it was the same pattern with every girl that he'd ever been with. The exact same thing.
It
was
so strange.
To me, like on the outside looking in and like being there and whatnot.
Yeah, they saw a lot of it. Yeah.
It's very fear. Like Mark Wahlberg and fear coded, like just that control and just wanting to scare you.
I will beat the shit out of you. Like if you move, I will choke you. Yeah, like I will kill you if you leave. Like basically, and like so. I remember one time I had Jack, and he had been like crazy that night. I used to lie to my parents and say like I was spending the night here with Jacker, and then like I would obviously be with him. And I remember one night he was like super crazy that night, really just like abusive and like forceful and just like crazy. And I remember waking up and like looking at Jack and just thinking, oh my God, like it was like an epiphany. It was like my come to Jesus moment, like nope, like I have to get out of here. And I just remember picking him up, leaving, and going to Zapatas by myself. I know it's funny that I say Zapatas, but like
that's so bizarre.
the old Zapatas, like literally I just was like nope. And I was 16 then, 17 then probably.
Thank God for that feeling.
Yeah, it was just literally like I woke up and God was like,
this is not what I want.
Yeah, like you gotta stop.
I'm not comfortable.
Like as there's like cigarette butts all over the fucking inside of the windowsill, and just like
you just felt that wasn't your environment.
No,
not
it smells like dog
intended
shit
for
everywhere, and just like foul, just disgusting.
Oh my
vile.
gosh! Wow.
Yeah. So no, but anyway, so by the grace of God, yes, he didn't show up to court, thankfully, because he had to go through like a psychological evaluation and everything. So he lost his rights. And
did he ever actually try to show up for him? Like, did he ever give a birthday card or anything financially?
Mm-mm.
It was all just simply controlling you?
Yes, simply controlling me. The state does sometimes catch him because he'll get jobs and
they garnish those wages?
Yeah, it's like
so
it's like
he has
$50
back to pay?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. It's hilarious.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
So yeah, but all that to say, it's just like it's relatable. Like looking at me now, and like you would never know that like somebody goes through that. And I think you know, Paige was young, she had a baby, and you guys had a totally different road. And like you were young, you had a baby, and you have a similar but totally different as well.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Nothing matches completely.
No.
So like you with Caleb,
Mhm.
like you had Phil, you know, so like
I did.
it was the whole family. I mean, I don't really know what the whole story is with that. You don't have to go down the road, but like figuring it out at a young age, and like you guys just decided that you're going to be together forever.
Well, we were together before, and like a similar situation. You know, I hid it because I was scared, obviously. Like I remember Phil telling me, he was like, Paige, and I'm just like, you know.
But you feel like you guys had each other's back.
We did. Yeah. We did. He was great. You'll never hear me say, obviously I married the man, but even then, like, I would never say a bad thing. Even when we had our off moments, we broke up a lot after, you know. I was young. I had postpartum for a long time. Like I was really struggling. I didn't realize I had it. I mean, I don't feel like it was talked about then. I was young, but looking back, I was like, oh my God, I was just unwell. Yeah. So we would break up a lot, but I would always tell my friends, you know, I have a lot of friends that are like young teen moms or just young moms in general, and I would never take him to court or anything like that. We always had a good balance, a good understanding. Yeah. He's a great dad. So I was very, very blessed with that. I mean, we were our team, though, you know? Yeah. So.
Yeah, even
huge bond between the two of you.
Yeah, you guys had it figured out. It was like, hey, whatever this is, like, we'll still have.
Even if we're fighting.
Make this okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Of course.
And something similar, like I was 6 months pregnant before anybody found out. I think you were probably similar.
Yeah.
In that
little
less
as
well.
I just followed.
Another thing.
Follow suit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like.
And I think that's so crazy.
But because you had just gone through that,
it was even more of a like.
And then I was like, obviously, I didn't do it on purpose, like the records show. But I'm like, oh. I am screwed.
Gonna be in trouble.
Like I forced myself into such denial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, I started varsity junior soccer.
I know you said that,
and
you're out there running around on the field.
Yeah,
the weekend before
my parents.
Everybody found out I played a volleyball tournament.
Yeah, my parents were like, "God, Paige is so slow."
Same.
I'm just like.
I hear you guys talk about your experience. Like, I was just a young mom. I shouldn't say I was a teen mom.
But I mean,
you were a teen mom. 19
I was just
is
too young.
19
young and
is still
stupid
a teen.
is all.
And on your own. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And also, I think when you don't have the support of your significant other or baby daddy, whatever, I mean, that has to be terrifying.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he was, I don't know how to
approach
all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care what kind of image that puts him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't care. But
yeah. And you don't have to, but
No.
it's just, you know, very different
another thing
It's not easy for
hopefully
anybody.
others can relate with.
So it's like, as far as like the breakup and all that went, like it was really nasty and ugly. Like,
Mhm.
but for what though? You know what I mean? And that's the other thing I failed to mention. I don't even know if I told you guys is that how old they were. Like this
Much
whole
older.
group of people at that time was significantly older than me. Like the women involved in this circle, everyone, no matter what their roles were, like they all were just uneducated people. And then when I graduated high school, it was like I wanted to go to college, but I couldn't go because like no one could afford it. So it was just that weird low where it was like, yeah, I'm like, well, what do I do now? And it was just like, I hit a wall.
Take your time.
But like some people just want to be around you because like the status it gives you. And I kind of feel like with him, it was that because I was significantly younger.
You
And
were
I
young
like,
and
ooh,
pretty.
look who I got.
Yeah, like
yeah.
maybe, yeah, but just like
No,
being
it is.
naive and not and like being stupid to this world that I had not really been exposed to. You know what I mean? So like he was able to hide so much from me because I didn't know the street life
Right.
terribly, like too terribly much then.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I learned what he was doing and all this terrible stuff. And I was like, well, by then I had Bryson, and it was like you said, you were just like, this ain't it.
Yep.
And he was all beside
Took me a while
himself.
to get there, though. It felt like a long time, but it wasn't.
And
at
yeah,
the same breath, like
right.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and like all these people again, like they were all significantly older. I don't.
I used to beg people to like help me, like to tell me what was going on, you know, and like they were.
I didn't know
his
what was
spell
going
as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So crazy.
So anyway, he went off the deep end. I don't know what was going on with him. I still am kind of in the dark.
Yeah.
I don't really care. It's not relevant to my life now. I'm just saying in an experience
Yeah.
way and in a growth way for others, you know, who are experiencing similar things.
Yes. Just
like it was hard. Like I didn't want that because it's like I didn't want that life for my child. You know what I mean? Like you didn't want that life for your child. Just don't. Like we want to raise our kids with both parents involved. But that wasn't the equation. That was okay. But I just ended up having to like separate, and then like him being significantly older, all these people being significantly older, and all these other variables that we could talk about at a later date. You know, like it was all these distractions from what was most important, and it was like the child. I was the only one who had my attention on my son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay.
You were thinking ahead. You were like, okay, this isn't where I want to be.
Yeah. And
I have to get out of here.
No matter what you do and what choices you make or who you do that with is none of my business. You do what you have to do, but there's a child here, so what are you going to do with this child? And I feel like I just beat that to death in the situation. It was like, okay, I don't know who she is, fine, but are we going to be present for the child? And then the presence was never there because, like you said, it was always like a kick, you know, for lack of better words, in the nuts for me. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't care about any of that. What I care about is this child and how I'm going to get out of this mess.
Well, and you got your answer.
Yeah.
By the lack of answer, and then you're like, okay, got it.
So it was like a lot of absence, and then just all these other distractions, I think, was like really the theme. And it was like, I don't care who loves this child. But it's interesting though, because like his family and even him, like he drove by the house I lived in every day, never stopped to see him. Never left a birthday card, never left a box of diapers, knowing full well that I had no real means to survive. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's terribly sad for Bryson because I see him ache for that. And I don't care what decision he makes when he comes to that crossroad. We've had the discussions. It's his life. He can do whatever he wants to do with it. I support whatever. I've just asked him to be more mature in mind before he seeks that. But I will say that his dad went completely absent and then all of a sudden showed up one day. No matter what the illness or ailment was, I don't wish bad ill health on you, but don't come knocking on my door now because you've almost died.
Right.
It doesn't take that. Like, you're already dead to me, and that's really where the context come 3 headstones. It's like, you're dead to me now.
Also, it was never about you, and yet here you are knocking on my door, making it about you.
He ended up on the news and like all this stuff, and like everyone's parading around. I'm like, but you are none of those things, and like it's just this weird image yet again. You know what I mean? It was always about like his image. Like if he did come, it wasn't him, it was someone else, and it was for photos. And then he'd be back. It was just a mess. The whole thing was just such a mess. And he just was so absent that he just finally said, threw his hands up pretty much, and just voluntarily signed his rights away.
Which was that.
Good.
And thank
for me, but not for Bryson. You know what I mean?
Think
like,
so?
You don't
like
think
in one way or another,
ways, yes. But Bryson lives with a void.
Of
like
course.
I live with a void with my dad, and my dad has always been present. You know what I mean? So it's just like 2 different evils. So child custody is not easy.
No.
It's just not. Like, you can't care about what the other party's doing in their personal lives. Like, what matters most is the child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyone who's
Definitely.
struggling with that, like, I can relate to it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of distractions and, like, you were saying,
Mhm.
with him coming after you for certain things or whatever. But
Yeah.
that's just my take. Hopefully I put that in the best
No,
words
you
I
did
could.
great. Yeah, you did great. Yeah, I think it comes in different ways and different forms. Child custody is not cut and dry. It's
No.
neither are relationships when it comes to that, especially when you have a child involved. And I think the best way is to just, honestly, the only way to get through it is to go through it. I know that sounds really stupid and like, oh, okay, I'm just going to over it. No, the only way to survive it and to get through it is to go through it. You're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to feel it.
Keep your priorities straight.
Yep. And that's
the
honestly
child.
the only thing. It's going to hurt. It's going to be hard.
Right.
And you just have to keep going. And you will. One day you're just going to wake up. It's going to be a Tuesday. And you're like, I feel better. I feel stronger. I'm having a good day. And you're going to just continue to feel that way. So yeah, I think in a nutshell, I think these are all different perspectives, all different ways that we've all gone through it. So if anybody out there, you know, has gone through similar things, we totally understand.
I think it's all too common though, like child custody. I think, like, again, I keep bringing up the conversation with Aubrey.
Yeah.
But it is like, it seems like anymore, it just seems to be the norm. Like, parents split, and like, there's no manual on how to make that a healthy environment.
No, because it hurts, you know. I mean, and I think especially when wounds are fresh, they can be very blinding, you know, and in some cases it's like you'll keep trying to find answers, and it's you're getting the answers, they're just not the answers that you want to hear. So it takes you longer.
It's hard to hear what you don't want to hear.
Well, yeah.
And then when you do get through what you're going through, you're like,
thank God I'm on the other side, though, you know. You kind of,
Also, to touch on that, you think Bryson will have a void. You and Philip are never going to.
Oh, Philip's great. Yeah.
He doesn't have a void. I think you feel like he might.
Well, we talk about it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that happens.
But I feel like you guys
we always have.
are
like,
doing so good. Like, are you kidding?
And that was like kind of my argument when he came back to my doorstep after he was like trying to, well, the other thing was like, he has multiple other children and God bless them. Like, they have no involvement with any of this.
Yeah.
But it's like, he wanted to get the band back together. You know what I mean? Like, for the image. And it's like, you don't understand though. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't work for Bryson and his mental health. Like, you're not here for the right reasons. You're here for an image. You know what I mean? Like, I think
the ship has sailed.
Yeah, the ship sailed.
Like, out of here.
Yes, exactly. And that's essentially what I told him.
Yeah.
He was never even on the ship.
There's really no reason why.
Not even bored, sir.
If you gave a damn, you would have showed up with a card. You would have left it in the mailbox. You drive by here every day.
Would have checked in.
And it's interesting because, like, we moved into the, this house, that it was a question in hand. Like, are you sure you're yeah, what do I care? This man has been dead to me 15 years. You know what I mean? And when he lived and had the opportunities to come by, I never did anyway. You know what I mean? So, like, what difference does it make now?
Yeah. Ironically, similar to what you're saying is like, yeah, he knows where I fucking live. It's on hard. Like, he drove by all the time. Yeah. Well, my evil married the girl down the street from my parents' house.
Oh, so you saw him all the time?
He saw us all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like,
just bizarre.
how convenient.
Yeah.
It is just bizarre.
So weird.
I think, like, the void that he probably feels, I just wanted to touch on that, is not so much the lack of having his dad. It's more of, like, the why.
It is the
and
why.
Then you have to,
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
unfortunately,
There's no, like,
let them, when they get to a certain age or whatever, find out for themselves, which sucks because all you can do is tell your story and you know, try to protect them.
And I've never, and like, I kind of hate this a little bit, like, the more I'm thinking about it. I'm fine with the conversation, but the reason why I didn't have social media for so long is because, like, these people, like, they use it as a window into my life.
Yes.
And it's
that's
not
why I don't post.
fair.
I know.
I don't, that is the whole reason why I don't post
post.
Bryson on the internet.
Yep.
Bryson specifically is because
you're
not present. So you don't get the window. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with, like, stuffing him away in a closet.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for this child. I will continue to have respect for him. And
Because
when he wants to expose himself to the world, and he can choose to do it on his own. It's not for me to do that.
Right.
People like to give me shit about that to this day.
I don't really get any grief about it, but that's the reason why.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole reason why.
Yeah.
I didn't have social media for that whole time because I didn't want anyone to have a window into my life. I had other things to focus on, and it was him.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
So
kind of like a full circle moment in this conversation though, because I remember the first night we actually hung out, and then I found out you had a son, and I was like, Phil, you didn't tell me she was a teen mom.
I remember us talking about that. Yeah.
And you were like, well, it's not really something that I talk about. And I was like, well, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when we talked about it across the street.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is. That kind of goes back to like what I
Bonding.
said. Like, when can we take that hat off, you guys? Like my dad, you know.
Take it off.
Fine. You know.
Honestly, it's so funny because, and I think we can all agree to it, not our children being the worst, but the worst thing, you know, that was the worst thing that could happen at the time that it happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, wow, how it kind of saved all of us.
It did
and
save
shaped
me.
Totally.
You know, so
The streets saved me.
yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw that.
Amen, sister.
Hell yeah.
So it's just funny how those things work out, like the worst moments of
Yeah.
your life, you know.
For sure. No, I know that I was meant to be Jack's mom, and as cliche and like so annoying as people will be like, oh yeah. No, I knew I was meant to be Jack's mom. I knew I was meant to go through what I went through. I know I'm gonna have him forever because he does have autism, and like I know that God knows I have a hard time letting my children do stuff.
Yeah.
So God was like, you know what, you're gonna keep this one forever.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna live with you. You know, and
That's
so
so
another
sweet.
thing like that, when you said you're like, you know, I worry that he feels a void, and he's voiced that to me. I know that like other people in my family have filled in those places. My dad, my husband, my sister, my
Yeah,
brother-in-law,
totally.
my uncles. And so
Yes.
it's like, it doesn't always have to be like, that's my dad. It's like, you have, I know he goes with your mom. He goes with
He loves my brother.
yes, like
yeah.
those also fit in that same hole.
They do.
You know, and so
Philip.
it's really, yeah, of course, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
I am not saying that Bryson's wanting to seek out that relationship.
no.
I am
Oh, yeah.
saying that
No.
all these years I've had to answer for someone who has been absent. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And without being filled with spite and like creating a narrative, like he really doesn't know a lot of it. But what I have done over the years is I've written him letters. Every year I write a letter. And when I read those letters, it like brings me to my knees, because if the letter wasn't saying like, oh, this is what he's doing, this is what we're doing, it was, Bryson, this is where we're at right now, this is where we live. Mom's working here right now.
Oh,
This is how we're
that's so sweet.
surviving.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're in this grade, and
I
this are your
love
words.
that.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah. And it was just
that was like your biography.
it was.
Yeah.
I know. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I almost should get those out one day.
You should put it together for him. I think that'd be so.
Oh
great.
yeah, it is together, but I just
Yeah.
mean like to share just how
Yeah.
interesting like it did.
Yeah.
I didn't even know at the time that those letters were showing like my path to
Hell
Yeah.
now.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Stepping stones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was how I approached it, because I didn't want to put a nasty taste in his mouth because I had a nasty taste. Like, I don't really care what
Good
he
for
does.
you. Yeah.
Yep.
You had no like honor to him. You were like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna put a bad taste in your mouth about it, even though I
Well,
know
that's-
he's the worst. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where that love and hate thing comes from.
Yeah.
Like, I know that if I have hate for the situation, then I still feel something. I don't feel anything. I actually just feel nothing at all. I don't even think about it.
Right. And I feel like also, not that any, you know, disability or anything is a blessing, but I feel like Jack's disability does give him a form of like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oblivious.
Oh,
to what I'm
yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
say.
like life is like
It's
Oblivious, but like a better word than that. Like he will never know that part of it.
he lives
Yeah.
in bliss in a
A
sense.
bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
bliss. Because
He doesn't worry
like,
about the things that we do.
no, because God, I feel like God knew that like that was going to be bad, and or maybe this is how I just feel about it, so I can sleep at night. I don't know, but like I feel like God was like, okay, I'm going to give you a son who always lives in his own world. He's always happy. He will never know like that part of him. He'll never know what mom went through. He'll only know grandpa. He'll only know Christopher. He'll only know Uncle Eddie. Like he'll only know Uncle Tim. Like those are the things that like he knows. So like God shaped him the way he did so that he didn't have to know that part of
Right.
his life.
That's a really
You know what I
good
mean?
lens to look at it through.
Which is, it
Yeah.
might be like people, oh, you're just in denial.
No,
Or,
I
like,
No, I
think
don't
well,
think
it
so.
might be,
I
but
think
how
that's
I'm living.
accurate.
That's
Yeah.
actually, yeah,
You know, like I'm like,
that's a very articulate way of thinking about it and keeping it in positive.
I think so. Like I said, it
Mhm.
might be so I can sleep at
I've
night,
always-
but I do think that like God did have a hand in that. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I know you were young and I know it was hard on you, but I'm going to give you a son who can make sure that you're going to make it through.
You
through
learn
life.
less from him too.
Oh, every day.
I'm sure you learned many lessons that you never would have learned without him.
Hilarious.
He is hilarious.
He's like a grumpy old man lately. He really is.
He is so funny.
I want to add like two
Yes.
really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Even with this conversation and like all of these conversations, I think we dissect them later on. It's like, yes, of
We do.
course we could add more to it.
And that's where it comes in, like,
You know.
leave questions or leave comments.
Yeah,
like,
leave
Lauren, thank you
questions.
for sharing that. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Major, thank you for sharing that. Like, whatever.
Because there's no way we can like go in such
We can't touch
detail
on
in one
everything.
sitting.
Just like
you know
you
what
said
I mean?
with Aubrey. She was like, I cannot tell everything in one thing. Like, it's so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it's gonna take multiple episodes to
Yeah.
be able to like cover it thoroughly. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? Like I'm sure there's a lot of open-endeds, and
Mhm.
also we're drumming up memories from like 15 years ago.
Blocked
You know what I mean?
out
Like we've already
Done.
shoved
Yeah.
this,
That shit is in the grave.
but there
you know
were
what I'm saying?
lessons learned. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm still learning lessons, man. You know?
We're all
Mhm.
just getting to know each other here.
We're all just
I
trying to
do
live.
actually have a quote that I
Go
found.
for it.
It's
What?
okay not to be okay so long as it doesn't become all we know.
Mm.
That
That's
is
what
true.
I'm saying.
Yeah, don't live in it.
Yeah.
You have to let
Work
it
through
happen.
You gotta climb out, man.
Yeah.
That's what.
I
Also,
really like that. That's stood out to
you've
me.
got
That
to,
is good.
in order to get through it, you've got to go through it, and I feel like that's really similar to that
Yeah,
as well.
it
like
is.
you've just
Mhm.
got to do it.
This too
It's
shall
gonna hurt.
pass.
Yep, but you're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I really like that. That's good.
I think this was so.
Should we
fun.
cheers?
I had such a good time.
I hope that you guys liked our,
Yes.
Yes.
random setting
Please let us know. Yes.
Lila's.
and our.
I just really wanted to say that. You guys don't know what that means? Love you like a sister. Lila's.
Oh, I
Throwback.
was literally. I thought you meant
You
like.
knew what I
I
meant,
thought you
right?
meant, like, coffee
No.
mugs.
Oh my gosh. All right. I
Live,
thought we
laugh,
all knew.
live, laugh, laugh.
Yeah, listen. Should we reach here?
I'm trying not to laugh. Like, who the fuck is Lila? Where are we?
It made it come out a little abrupt.
Who's laugh?
Are you yelling at the dog?
Who the fuck is Lila? Yeah, same. I'm at Lila's. I mean, truly.
I thought we all knew what it meant.
No.
Well, clearly you guys never passed notes in junior high. You guys have never heard that? Maybe it was like a
Love You
118
Like a Sis,
thing.
but I've never like
Lila's?
said it like that.
Lila.
I never said that.
I'm dead.
What does it mean again?
Love you like a sister.
Love You Like a Sister.
Okay.
I
Oh,
mean,
like an
I remember
acronym.
that,
Lila's. Oh my god, I'm dead.
All right, Lila's.
It was
Cheers
way
to Lila's.
cooler in my head. When I thought that you guys knew
You
what
were
it
so
meant.
confident.
No, I got it.
It just came out of nowhere, too.
Lila's.
Lila's!
This is